Ross Bolen Podcast. You better listen. Brought to you by Bolen Media. RBP, 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 Ross Bolen.
Welcome to episode 257 of the Ross Bolen Podcast, otherwise known as RBP 257, presented by Bolen Media. I am your host, of course, Ross Bolen, joined today by my two handsome co-hosts, according to their mothers. Jared's trying to look as ugly as he can while I say that. Anthony Johnson and Jared Borislow. Gentlemen, how are you today? Jared, you first.
Anthony, you first.
Oh, you gonna give me the honor?
Honors. How are you? How are you feeling?
All right, let me tell you how I started my morning.
Okay, I'll go. I'm good, Ross. How are you?
I'm great, man. I'm doing really good. No, AJ, how'd you start your morning?
So I woke up, I had a protein bar, an energy drink, and I watched a...
Wow.
I know. Yeah, well,
Fueling the body and mind, AJ.
that's usually how I start my
Wait, you
Sunday
start the
mornings.
morning with an energy drink?
And a protein bar.
Okay,
Jesus.
energy drink like a Red Bull? Or
No,
energy
no,
drink
I
like something good
don't
for you?
mess
Like a
with all that.
Bang?
No.
Like a fucking liquid IV?
I drink a brand called... I should drink liquid
Orange
IV.
juice?
Wait, have they paid the pod?
Yeah, they paid the
Yeah.
pod.
No,
they
no,
always
this,
pay the
this
pod.
one, the one he's about to say.
Pipe-
Oh,
Piper?
no, I probably shouldn't even bring them up because they're non-smart.
Fuck no.
But we'll just say generic...
What a horrible idea.
I had
you
a
silly man.
I had a generic protein bar and a generic energy drink.
Got the fucking check.
And I watched a YouTube video of Marshawn Lynch, and he's in Las Vegas, and he eats a burger that costs $1,200.
You
What
just
the fuck is on it?
described the morning of I feel like every seventh grader in America. Right
They eat a
now.
$1,200 burger for breakfast?
No,
No, I don't understand.
Waking up, eating like a bar of some sort, drinking an energy drink, and watching YouTube.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably.
what's wrong with starting your morning like
I dig
that?
YouTube. We're on YouTube. YouTube.com/Bolen Media. But
Yeah.
continue, AJ.
Well, I was just going to say, it was a video of him eating a $1,200 burger, and
What was on this burger? Why it cost $1,200?
just like rich people stuff.
Is it like gold?
Like truffles and
Like a shit ton of
some rare like bread and
Dijon
cheese.
mustard of some kind?
There was goat cheese on it, and there was a funny part where Marshawn was like, "Hey, dog, what goat cheese tastes like?"
The greatest Marshawn video is run through a motherfucker face.
Yeah.
Again and again and again and again, or whatever the fuck he says. That's the most motivating video I've ever seen.
My favorite Marshawn quote is, what was it? He says, "I'm gonna get got, but I'm gonna get mine before I get got, though." Right?
Dude, he's the
Isn't
greatest.
that what he says?
His logic and his comment, like his level of thinking, is just where I want to be. It's like the simplest, like kill everything around me and be the greatest.
You know, when he's on. Like, he's team content when he wants to be social.
He's always, dude.
He did.
You just have to catch him on a good day though, because he doesn't always want to talk.
He doesn't want to talk sitting in front of the press after a game.
He doesn't want to talk to the media.
No.
I should say.
Remember when he worked for Skittles for a while after he retired? He did a whole campaign for Skittles.
Well,
he
yeah,
eats
sponsor. He was a
Skittles.
huge Skittles guy. Yeah,
I mean,
Got
that was
the
a
bag.
no-brainer. That
Got the
went hand
Skittles
in hand.
bag. Taste the fucking rainbow, Jared. What about you? How was your morning?
Drank some coffee.
I didn't finish my story.
Oh, what was the rest of your story?
I was gonna say there was goat cheese in this burger. I was just gonna finish this joke, and he was like, "Hey, dog, what goat cheese tastes like?" And the host was like, "Oh, it's like a nice ricotta." And he was like, "Ricotta? You speaking Spanish?"
I don't even know what the fuck ricotta is.
It's Italian cheese.
I mean, I figure it was Italian.
No, that was what's funny
based
about
on the
it.
word. You know, me and Marshawn might have the same level of food education. The fuck is
Sad.
ricotta?
What? It's one of the most famous cheeses.
Although I do know what goat cheese tastes like, obviously.
What does it taste like?
It's very tangy.
Yeah, it's
It's very delicious.
pungent and
Oh.
it has like a
Don't say pungent. It's not pungent.
it has like a bite on your tongue.
Yeah, it's tangy. It's not pungent.
Tang.
What's your favorite?
Pungent is the smell.
Yeah,
I don't think
that's
it's
the
You
same.
stupid fuck.
I-
Don't tell me
I
what
eat a lo-
adjectives
I
I
eat
can
a lot
use.
of goat cheese. No,
it's my fucking adjective.
It's not pungent though.
You're
Pungent.
insane.
There
If
are
you-
many pungent
Shut up,
cheeses.
Jared.
like
Shut
a,
up, Jared.
Like a
Shut up, Jared.
Limburger.
Shut. You're cut off. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SoundCloud, there's something you should know. Not that it will change anything for you right now, but there is something you should know. You could have watched live, literally live, as AJ, Jared, and I dive into this episode on twitch.tv/bossrollin, as so many are right now. Hello to all of you.
You'd see me wearing Packers gear and talking about cheese.
Yes, I'm not wearing my Texans hoodie because my shit was dirty. I thought about, Jared, pulling it out of the washing machine and wearing it today
Why not?
to be supportive. I was worried about, like, I've had my dogs' feet have been real dirty, so I've been cleaning their feet. So when they come back inside, throwing the towels in there. There's other substances and liquids and such in the washing machine. I don't know what was going to come out on this hoodie and be on my body.
Yeah.
So I had to go with this one.
For millions of people to see. I got it.
I'm Billie Eilish
also,
today.
were you worried about getting memed when the Texans lose by like 34? And you have some quote like, the Texans are going to do it, man.
Yeah, somebody get a screen grab of me in the hoodie, just like double W's.
Oh,
on my hands
they
or
use
whatever.
that photo of you with the hoodie over your head.
Mother of God.
That
it's
you
gonna-
posted?
Yeah, we'll get
That'd
to
be a good
Texas
one to
talking
meme.
a little bit. But you also could have been watching on youtube.com/Bolen Media, where every single episode of the Ross Bolen Podcast is going to be available in 2020. Every single one we've done so far, we've put up also every single episode of Oysters, Clams, and Cockles. youtube.com/Bolen Media, where you can watch, not just listen. RBP 257 is brought to you by Liquid IV. Half of Americans report that they fight with daily fatigue, AJ not being one of them, apparently.
No, I'm good.
Maybe you recognize some of the signs of low energy: decreased focus, lack of motivation, poor mood, unhappiness. Who wants that? You wake up in the morning, you feel shitty? Liquid IV Energy Multiplier gives you sustained energy throughout the day. Fight fatigue without the crash. It's the perfect replacement for morning coffee and an all-natural alternative to processed energy drinks. Premium matcha and green energy blend tastes delicious, provides a lasting energy boost throughout the day. The fatigue-fighting boost you'd get from a couple of cups of coffee without the crash. It contains a mixture of teas and herbs high in antioxidants that help improve mood and focus. A healthier alternative to traditional energy drinks and coffee. No artificial flavors or preservatives, AJ. This is where you need to be in the morning. Liquid IV's cellular transport technology delivers an optional ratio of nutrients for more efficient uptake, enhanced rapid absorption into the bloodstream.
Rapid
Absorption into the bloodstream gives you lasting energy boost.
Hoppy.
Fast. Powers your mornings. Fuels long days at work. Provides a boost for those tough workouts. Clean ingredients. Non-GMO. Vegan. Free of gluten, dairy, and soy. Convenient TSA-friendly single-serving packets for perfect travel.
I'll step in here. So I used to drink, coffee all the time. And then one time I ran out of coffee and I went out to the garden and I got a handful of potting soil
Okay.
and I mixed it in with some warm water.
Okay.
And I vowed after that to never drink coffee again because it was the worst coffee I'd ever had.
That's a great story. Get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com. Use the code ROSS at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order at Liquid IV's website. Just go to liquidiv.com, enter the promo code ROSS, 25% off. Get better hydration and energy. Liquidiv.com, promo code ROSS. Don't wait. Start fueling your adventures today. If you're new to our show, the Ross Bolen Podcast, almost every episode is broken down into segments, which you can find below with time cues in the description. Now, some episodes may have a special guest or a special topic and be an exception to that rule, be less segmented, but typically the idea is we segment the podcast, we timestamp all the different topics so you can consume at your own pace based on your work or school or whatever schedule rules your life. You do not have to have listened to a single one of the 256 preceding episodes of RBP in order to enjoy RBP 257. But if you like today's show, we do ask that you go back, get caught up when you've got the time. 256 backlogged episodes for you to hit, soak in, and enjoy. Have at it. Some announcements. Shouts to Heather. And happy birthday to her brother, Drew DeArmas. He turns 21 on January 13th. Huge supporter of the pod. Happy birthday to Adam, turning 23 on the 23rd. Good luck with your first dry birthday. That is a huge step. Happy birthday to Alex Simmons. Make your 21st a great, safe one. Happy birthday, Nathan, turning 22 on the 30th. Thank you for growing the gang. I did not see Cats in theaters and will not be seeing Cats in theaters. I am not sorry. Happy birthday, belated birthday to Andrew Steenblock. Thank you for growing the gang. My bad for just now finding your boy Steven's shout-out request. That is on me, as always. Happy birthday, Will Sykes, on the 17th. Thanks for the kind words in my DMs. Follow us on Instagram at The Ross Bolen Podcast, where every day we fill up our story with photos and videos sent in by you, our listenership, the RBP gang. We're also on Twitter at Ross Bolen Pod, and you can find us on Facebook if you're the middle-aged aunt of one of our listeners. A few amends before we jump into our first segment. First, President Abraham Lincoln did not enjoy retirement. Richard Nixon did not enjoy impeachment. The population of China is 1.427 billion. First segment, hit it, Mike.
And now, Ross Bolen's Animal of the Week.
All right.
It's like Brian, what's the SNL one? Brian, the Tracy Morgan? Oh, it's Brian.
Oh, Brian Fellows.
Brian Fellows.
Oh, he saved your ass. I don't know what the fuck you're talking
No,
about.
it took me a second.
Thank you.
I remember those though.
Yeah.
Animal of the week is Diego, the sexy tortoise. Look, if a tortoise makes international news from fucking, we can't not make him the animal of the week. Those are the rules. And this tortoise, here, I'll give you a line from CNN. A womanizing tortoise, which, by the way, just seems a little, that adjective is not fair. And when you get the rest of the story, you'll know why. A womanizing tortoise whose rampant sex life may have single-handedly saved his entire species from extinction has retired from his playboy lifestyle, returning to the wild with his mission accomplished. He's the Tom Cruise of turtle fucking. Diego's unstoppable libido was credited as a major reason for the survival of his fellow giant tortoises on Hispaniola, part of the Galapagos Islands, after being shipped over from the San Diego Zoo as part of a breeding program. Get this shit. When Diego started his species-saving sex campaign in the 1970s, he's been at it for 50 years.
Yeah, for a long time.
There were only 2 male tortoises. 2, okay? And 12 females of his giant tortoise species left.
That's a nice ratio.
That's 14. That's a great ratio. 14 to 12, okay? This man bones down until there are about 2,000.
What about the other guy?
We're going to get to the other guy. Other guy didn't do so hot. But Diego
What was his name?
spraying turtle sperm just all over the world. Just can't stop. Another one was named Lonesome George.
It's not the name you want.
Not the same career path as our boy
That's
Diego.
that's a cuck name. He got cucked by Diego
He
at every turn.
refused to breed in captivity.
He was the one cranking in the corner, just
And-
watching.
And he became known as the last living individual of his species as a result. He refused to fuck. Never do that.
AJ, there's a lesson there.
What's that?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know. But 2,000! The Galapagos National Park source believed the 100-year-old tortoise, he's 100 years old now, okay? And he is the patriarch to 40% of his population, they believe.
Sounds like some inbreeding.
Well, there's quite a bit of it. It's mostly him. It's just, we should rename the turtle species, this tortoise
Diego.
species.
The Diegos.
The Diegos. This guy took over. I mean, this is his bag now. If you do that much work, you got to get more credit. They got to do something here. Here's a quote from Jorge Carrion. I can't say your name, sir. The park's director. He's contributed a large percentage to the lineage that we are returning to Hispaniola. There's a feeling of happiness to have the possibility of returning that tortoise to his natural state. A total of 15 of these tortoises took part in the breeding program to boost the island's population. Diego, though, boss king. He came out, obviously.
The amount of tortoises that Diego cucked is shocking.
Yes.
Think about that.
He went in there. Was there 14 other dudes in there ready to, got their dicks out? And he just pushes them all out of the line. He's
Yeah.
like, I got this. Fellas.
Imagine
go take a nap.
Imagine you're sitting there and you watch as Diego at 0.5 miles per hour walks towards your girl. Imagine that. Imagine the visual. And
The
you can't-
approach?
and you can't do anything. You're only as fast as he. Diego's probably faster because he has so much raging tortoise testosterone coursing through his shell.
What do you
or
think his
whatever.
go-to pickup line is?
I don't know.
How's he scoop
turtle.
these girls up?
Turtle pickup lines?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that if given some time, we could come up with some great ones.
I'm sure.
I'm sure he didn't just go up to him and just mount them.
It's like you're making me think of the meme that's popping in my head is Austin Powers, the steamroller.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're watching Diego approach your girl, and it's just all you can do.
You can't. You just have to scream.
It's all you
A
can do.
Tortoise scream.
You're not fast enough to get over there and stop what's about to happen. About to happen.
Are you Canadian?
What's about to happen here?
Oh, you've been watching. Did you watch Don't Fuck with Cats?
Lonesome George, you cannot stop it.
Did you watch Don't Fuck with Cats?
No. No. But anyway, it is really, really, really funny that they gave this. Come on. Lonesome George?
You can't.
They
you-
stuck
it's
him with
not-
that?
That's not the name you want. Can I butt in here real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, so this has been a story that comes up every so often. The whole Diego thing.
Uh-huh.
I actually.
Yeah, we've actually talked about him before, but now they're returning him to his
Yes.
home. That's the development.
So I believe this was top 4 most viral pieces I ever wrote at our old company.
What was?
I wrote an article about Diego that I think it was top 4 most viral pieces I ever wrote.
Oh,
Number-
Jared, that had to have been a huge moment for you.
Well,
Watershed moment.
Here's the title of that very.
I can't wait. Let's give traffic to a random site.
100-year-old Galapagos tortoise fucks his entire species out of extinction. That was a headline that got shared hundreds of thousands of times.
Here's some more turtle innuendos from the mainstream media, including Jared. New York Post says, he's swinging for the species. A prolifically sexually active turtle is being released into the wild after possibly saving his entire breed from extinction. And here's WTAE News. A womanizing tortoise whose rampant sex life may have single-handedly saved his entire species from extinction has retired from his playboy lifestyle, returning to the wild with his mission accomplished. Why are they calling him a womanizer and a playboy? They put him there to do this job. It's a little weird. I get that they're jokes, and this is the greatest day of every, nature writer in the world. Every nature writer at every newspaper in America is like, oh, thank God. More Diego news for us to cover.
They were going to shut down. Diego saved the print media industry as well. People forget about that.
They do. Single-handedly saved print news journalism.
Because every single time this story gets brought up, every 2 years, people write about it for weeks at a time, and then they get all the ad money. And then Diego saved a lot of large newspapers, including the New York Post and CNN.
I have a question. What happens now to print news?
Well,
Diego has retired.
I got a better question. What happens now to all the tortoises Diego is near? Because that man is conditioned to fuck everything.
It's a two-way street, though. It's not just that Diego's going back to the Galapagos. He's not going to be with his flock of honeys anymore and just have free ass all day. It's also the other way around. What about the group of women that he was satisfying you have to assume, multiple times a day, every day?
Yeah, but
nobody's now without their Diego.
Nobody's talking about how he was hooking up with sisters, daughters, cousins, nieces. Nobody's talking about that.
I didn't think about that.
Just think about that.
Why y'all got to focus on the inbreeding aspect of Diego the sexy tortoise?
How do you not think about it?
Yeah, why are you brushing that aside? What a good guy. It's he banged his daughter.
Yeah.
He's a turtle. That's why I'm brushing it aside.
Actually, I'm going to correct you there. He's a tortoise. They're very different.
Okay, tortoise. I'm sorry. You're right. That was very insulting. That was wrong of me.
Yeah, you can't.
That's my bad. I'm sorry.
Well, you
That's
realize
fucked up.
if a turtle goes in water and a tortoise is on land, so
He just heard me say that shit, and he just started his 0.5 mile per hour walk to my house to beat my ass.
He's gonna fuck you up. He's gonna fuck you
up. He'll be waiting for you when you get home.
2024. How the fuck are you gonna be? No, 2024. I'm gonna get home from work on December 8th. And Diego is going to be at my door. This is like a Family Guy. That would happen in Family Guy.
Well, what's going to happen is you'll be driving home for a week and a half, and you'll see him be on his way to your house as you drive home.
Yes.
He'll be a little closer each day.
On
He
the
just
side
gives
of the
you
road.
a death stare as you drive by, it's coming. Every day you drive by him, he just stares at
Is
you.
it Peter Griffin and the chicken? Was it the chicken
Yeah.
he was always fighting?
Yeah.
and
Diego is my chicken.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen here.
Chicken of the sea, chicken of the land. I guess he's a tortoise.
Chicken of the land, yes.
Hey, you know what this makes
Everybody
me think
says
of?
tortoise is the chicken of the land.
This situation makes me think of, what if a human was in this situation? What if there were 2 males left on this earth and then there was 12 women? Just imagine how that situation would play out.
The women would kill the 2 males, eat them, and then go on fucking each other and having a much better time. That's what would happen. The 2 men would die. They would be gone. If you put 12 women and 2 dudes and they're like, save the populace. No. Those chicks are killing those 2 dudes and it's over.
Yeah,
We're
but
done here.
that's the end of the population, though.
God bless it.
There's no more bloodline.
We are awful. The tortoise should rule. Diego, the sexy tortoise, and his flock this should be their world. We're done here.
He's the Hugh Hefner of tortoises.
We need to show ourselves out. We're just getting in the way of what should be a thriving turtle community. Tortoise community. RBP 257 is brought to you by BetOnline.ag, the official online sportsbook of the RBP gang. BetOnline is America's favorite online sportsbook, has been in business for almost 20 years. They offer all the football and sports betting you could ever ask for. Bet on the national championship tomorrow, the NFL playoffs today. You can bet the first half, the first quarter, the first play of the game if you want. All the props you could possibly want in terms of betting on futures, MVP races, who will win the championship in the NBA, who will win the Super Bowl, all the playoff action you could ever need. You know I'm throwing heavy on the Texans this afternoon, regardless of how stupid of an idea we all know that is. They're plus 10.5. I got it at 10.5 against the Chiefs. I cannot resist that many points. I'm sorry, Mama. I can't. Open your account today. Fund it with just $55 at betonline.ag and use the code ROSS to get your first deposit bonus, a 50% deposit bonus if you deposit between $55 and $1,000. 50% bonus up to $1,000. BetOnline have been a AAA rated sportsbook for years. They pay out your winnings fast. Once again, go to betonline.ag, use the code ROSS for 50% deposit bonus. So many sports coming in hot. at the early front of 2020. BetOnline.ag, code Ross, 50% deposit bonus. Stipulations apply. Have fun and be responsible as always. If you hop on that 10.5 points with me, I guess ride with me on Twitter. It's going to be an emotional roller coaster.
So, but most people, they're saying this for the live viewers because nobody else is going to hear this by the time the game starts, right?
Okay.
Just making sure.
Are you asking a question? Oh, what?
Yeah,
what was
That
the
was
question?
like kind of a question and statement at the same time. I was saying you're saying that for the 24 current Twitch
Oh,
viewers.
I thought you were asking
right?
him. I didn't know what you were getting at.
Because this is not going to be up by the time the Texans play, right?
I mean, it very well could be. I don't know why we're talking about it. Weirdo.
Let's continue.
Next segment.
I'm
Jared,
just trying to clarify for
horse's
the people.
ass.
For the people.
Insane headline of the day.
All right.
You ready for this?
Yes.
Go slowly.
AJ, I lied to you. I said we wouldn't talk any movies today. We are. We're going to talk a little bit of movies.
Okay. I'm always down for some movie talk.
Chinese casino pays $70 million for 15-minute Martin Scorsese film.
Okay.
Now, what makes it even more interesting is that it's not just a Martin Scorsese film. It's a Martin Scorsese film featuring Robert De Niro and Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt and the dudes from fucking, what is that, the cast of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and The Irishman combined.
And they made a short film
Just
or
the two
something?
biggest-
or-
Yeah.
Why do they do that?
15 minutes, $70 million.
Actually, I guess why would you not do this?
Brad Pitt, De Niro, DiCaprio. This film is called The Audition, and it was released online in January. Apparently, it's being covered. The actors pulled in a cool $13 million each.
So
For
right,
15 minutes of work?
It
So
took
right
less than a
there-
week to shoot.
so right there, it's already $39 million. It cost $39 million just for those three.
You have to imagine Scorsese took home a bag too,
Of course.
being in charge of the whole
course,
shit.
course.
I'm gonna guess. I don't know. Maybe it'll be in here somewhere. We'll see. But this is ridiculous. So they play themselves, okay? De Niro and DiCaprio. They find themselves at a casino and they're vying for the same role in a Scorsese film. That's the
That's the premise?
premise.
So it's like a very breaking down the fourth wall type deal.
I
Yeah,
guess
it seems very meta.
I'm sure it's incredibly cheesy. Brad Pitt doesn't show up to the 12-minute mark.
So he's only in the movie for 3 minutes.
We got
Actually, not
thir-
even 3 minutes.
Got
Probably like
$13 million for
probably
that.
like a minute and 30 seconds, and
Wait.
then the credits roll.
Wait a minute. What if you're DiCaprio or De Niro? You had to be there the whole week, and then Brad Pitt shows up at
On
the
the
end of the
last
week.
day.
He gets 13 mil too.
He's like, hey, what's up, guys?
God damn.
2 scenes, and he goes home.
So basically, the connection here is that there's like the company behind Studio City is Melco Crown Entertainment, a venture of Chinese gaming mogul Lawrence Ho and Australian magnate James Packer. But Packer is also the Pack
Go Packers.
in Rat Pack Entertainment. The other half being Hollywood producer-director Brett Ratner. Okay.
A lot of rats.
Packer and De Niro, business partners. Earlier this year, they opened a Nobu Hotel, casino resort in the Philippines. Must be nice. You ever been to a Nobu?
I don't know what that is.
No.
It's real fancy sushi. Just there's like
There's one in Malibu, right?
almost definitely
I think there is.
anywhere like super what's the word? I'm like bougie.
So
you
so
gotta
like,
Nobu.
So like Sugarland and
Yeah, Sugarland,
Woodlands.
Texas, #1 place for Nobus and California Pizza Kitchens.
Is Nobu a type of sushi, or are you saying
no,
that's
it's a brand. It's a restaurant.
Oh,
Nobu.
okay.
Yeah, Nobu. You never heard a rapper talk about Nobu?
Yeah, I didn't know what it. I
They
didn't, never
used
knew
to.
what it was. Though.
Yeah, I've only been to one. It was in the Atlantis Casino in the Bahamas.
ah yes.
How's that experience?
Well, we went right as they were trying to close, and they didn't appreciate.
Are you a big
that.
sushi guy?
Basically told us to get the fuck out. Yeah, I love sushi.
Yeah, me
I
too.
also love sushi.
Huge.
I always take a good spicy tuna roll,
Oh yeah.
California roll.
Dude, we have a pretty decent sushi selection in Austin, considering.
Yeah.
I think so.
Even
Considering.
California roll though, like, come on.
Just the most basic
Yeah,
sushi
come on.
possible.
Like, if you're gonna go to a sushi restaurant, if you're gonna get sushi from a grocery store, California roll is fine. You know, like it's all.
I don't think I've had a California roll since
Well,
like
I-
2014.
I eat that to complement the other types of sushi.
To
Though.
make it taste better.
like I'll have tempura. I think is how you say it.
The
spicy tuna roll.
Sushimi? You ever get some? You ever just get the fucking straight
Yeah.
up just fish? Just
Oh, and you dip it in the sauce.
nah. You just flop that bitch in your mouth. You can
Oh.
dip it in sauce if you want. There's sauce for sure.
There's sauce involved. That can't be.
The Audition, scripted by Terrence Winter.
I don't know who that is.
And who is that exactly?
Yeah, I'm happy that you're in the same boat as me.
I'll
I
get
don't
into the
know who that is.
fucking IMDb
Yeah, you said it like
here.
we're supposed
I
to know
don't-
who that is.
Yeah, what?
You are supposed to know.
But
who
you
it
don't
is.
know who it is. You're looking him up right now.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just making sure I don't fuck you. He's the guy who wrote The Sopranos.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's also done The Wolf of Wall Street, Boardwalk Empire,
He's a
Get
screenwriter?
Rich or Die Trying, The Sopranos. He is a producer. He is a writer.
So he probably got paid a lot of money
Oh,
too.
he's the one that got paid.
Everybody got paid on this motherfucker. But that's insane. This is the most incredibly A-list talent for a fucking 15-minute casino ad.
Yeah,
for
but it's not,
$70 million.
it's not obvious why they said yes to do this, why they agreed to do it.
In fact, AJ, it's weird to me that this type of shit doesn't go on more often.
That's what I'm saying.
$70 million to a casino
Yeah.
is like a $10 bill to me.
That's nothing.
You know?
They
That's-
can pull that out of their wallet and just be like, here you go.
For real. If you can get, it's like the only reason this happened is because of the Packer De Niro connection. Otherwise, this type of shit would go down more. Because, dude, these casinos have the dough to just make. If I was a casino owner, I'd be like, fuck it. We're doing a 15-minute film every month.
Yeah.
With A-list Hollywood celebrities. Like, what else are we going to do with all this money? What else are they going to do with all that money? But this story is nuts. You got to go read. Like, we could go another hour just doing the details of this insane fucking $70 million project, 15-minute project. But they showed it in like a 5,000-seat theater. I want to see the whole movie now. I kind of want to watch it.
Yeah, I want to watch it.
Like, I feel tempted. It's $70 million for 15 minutes?
Maybe we can find a pirated version of it online.
I bet we can.
Find a torrent.
Isn't that wild, though? Fucking just random casino in China.
70 mil.
It would be
Now-
in China.
The weird thing here, Scorsese sort of like is getting heat for this because it's a little obviously there's this level of respect in the artistic community, right?
Sure.
These are filmmakers, respected filmmakers, artists, and then they're selling out for 70 mil to China, which is sort of a hot button issue at the moment, right?
Of course, yeah.
China. What did we do all that money over morals talk a couple months ago when all that shit went down? I mean, it's the same type of deal.
And money over morels, the mushrooms. Shouts to the truffle hogs. People love.
I love
the
when we
truffle
work in
hogs.
truffle hog talk.
I like how you weave that all together.
We never do. That was well done.
That was excellent.
So in a news conference on Tuesday of last week, Scorsese defended the project, saying he had great creative freedom. Here's a quote. A short film, I love this. This is next level. A short film is even tougher, in a way, than a full-length feature, said the 72-year-old Oscar winner. It has to be something that's not a prologue to a bigger work. It has to be contained in and of itself. He called it, quote, not biographical, but a kind of reality-based with humor about ourselves. Just say you needed the money or like you wanted the money. Like you don't have to come in and pretend. A short film is even tougher in a way. Yeah, I'm sure this was a lot tougher to make than The Irishman. The 7-hour fucking epic you put out on Netflix. And then you got a 15-minute. This guy goes either 3.5 hours or 15 minutes. And they cost the same amount to make.
Well, you know,
I think The Irishman cost more than 70 mil.
Yeah, it probably did.
well, you know, as someone
the
who's
CGI alone.
Yeah.
as someone who's made a short film before, I can say that it is tough. I can stand with him on that.
I believe that. I believe it is tough. It's not that I don't. It's not that I. Wait, when did you make a short film?
For school,
Oh, in college.
140 million
it,
budget. for The
wasn't
Irishman.
good.
How long was yours?
Not 15 minutes.
Was your budget?
It was like 3 minutes. $0.
Son of a bitch.
And
you were
also,
short
and
70
I
million.
also had to rent my equipment from the school.
Where the fuck were your Chinese backers and packers?
Yeah.
I don't know. I should have got some A-list celebrities, man.
Irishman budget was 140 million, so double. But it also was like 10
76
times longer.
times longer. Yeah, man, that is wild. By the way, for more movie, TV, and film talk, Oysters, Clams, and Cockles. Subscribe to Bolen Media's TV and movie podcast, Oysters, Clams, and Cockles, available wherever RBP is available. RBP is to OCC as RBP Gang is to Clam Fam. It's an SAT.
I never took
Analogy.
the SATs.
Analogy, yes.
Is it analogy?
It's an analogy.
Oh, good.
Which a lot of people nowadays, they read it and they're like, anal OG. They say
Yes.
they think anal first and like, oh, wait, what?
You can get your mind out.
AJ always calls himself an anal OG.
Yeah.
He does. By the way, I'm going to see 1917 tonight with my co-host of Oysters, Clams, and Cockles, Barrett Dudley. Have y'all watched the trailer for this thing?
It looks so good.
Was-
Isn't it like a single shot movie?
Yeah. It's apparently just like a 2.5-hour panic attack
Was
the
that-
entire time.
What does that have to do with anal?
Hopefully
he'll find
nothing.
out.
I guess we'll see. It looks like it's mostly a dude running down a beach, so I don't know if there's going to be a ton
No,
of anal.
I
Well,
heard. Yeah, I've heard it's pretty incredible though, because it's just nonstop. Like
It
I heard it's
won-
basically if you take Saving Private Ryan and just make it even more intense and
So
Like,
it's getting that level of hype.
Yeah,
Like
it's getting a lot of hype.
it won,
which is a pretty high bar
Oh, yeah.
to live up to.
it won Best Picture drama at the Golden Globes
Before dropping.
before coming out in theaters. The director went up on stage and was like, "Holy shit, this is tight! Please go see it in theaters. It was meant to be seen in theaters." So Barrett and I are doing it for our movie club, and the only person that I've heard from so far, Serena, again, shouts to Serena, who went and saw it, said that it was literally like it gave her anxiety. Like you sit there for 2.5 hours and watch war unfold. And yes, it's being compared and talked about as a war great already with the likes of Saving Private Ryan, which is
Yeah, one of the greatest movies of all time, in my opinion.
that's a lot to live up to. So I'm interested to see where it lands.
You know, I actually tried to reach out to those guys for an interview.
Tom
Two-
Hanks?
No, the 2 guys that star in it. No, not Saving Private Ryan in this movie.
The 2 unknown.
Yeah, you hit up Tommen and the other guy.
Yeah,
right?
they never hit me back up.
Tom
but-
and Baratheon
Yes.
is the star of this movie.
He's one of the 2. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
That's nuts.
Dude, talk about a come up. Tommen went from, if you don't remember this, when you watch Game of Thrones, he was
This is not a spoiler, right?
No. He
Okay.
was a Lannister cousin
Yeah.
in a random scene, and then they were like, damn, that kid was good. And he got cast as then Tommen, who obviously was king at one point. That's not enough of a spoiler for anybody to care. And now he's starring in what just won Best fucking Film Drama at the Golden Globes.
Tommen was such a bitch.
I liked Tommen. Just had a good heart.
He had a bad mind, though. As a king, you don't want that.
Jared, you never want to make light of something like suicide, but that was the greatest suicide in on-screen history, in movies or TV.
It's such a good GIF. It's a great reaction GIF.
Yo, it's the greatest suicide in the history of television and film, in my opinion, ever.
It's probably the most watched suicide.
I've used that GIF 100 times, mostly during sports.
Which you will today
Hashtag
when the
sports.
Houston Texans.
Look, I just want everybody to be healthy and happy out there.
You know what GIF I want to use?
Okay, if we're
And
gonna get our asses kicked by Mahomes on national TV, just be healthy and happy.
Here's a
What's
GIF
up?
that I want to use. Hopefully it plays out in this situation.
Okay.
To where the Texans, I'm rooting for the Texans, by the way. I'm all in on them for the rest of the postseason.
Oh, God.
Because I just utterly hate all of the other teams that are
Well,
left in the
welcome to hell,
this
AJ.
thing.
So you say the rest of the postseason, you mean the next 5 hours?
Yeah, you got till about 6
Yeah.
p.m.
But-
6:30.
But no, listen, I'm hoping the situation plays out like this. The Texans are down by like 21 points in the
Oh.
first half, right?
I hope not.
But then they make a comeback in the second half, and then I can use Undertaker.gif of him just rising up.
That's
the
an
ring,
all-time
yeah.
sports GIF as well.
I just want to use that gif
That's an
in
all-time
the second
sports
half
GIF as well.
when Deshaun comes back and throws for like 500 yards.
I feel like Big Cat and
I don't
PFT
know.
use that
I mean,
one
that's an
pretty
exaggeration,
consistently
but-
still.
I think Deshaun will have a big second half because I think the
He-
Texans are
well,
going to
he's
be down
I
by
say
3
that because
scores.
he's a second half player.
Yeah, because his team always goes down.
Where
in
his
the first
team,
half.
the Texans are a second half
He's-
team.
He's like Blake Bortles. It's like, yeah, he puts up numbers. And he's second half player because his team is down by so much.
Yeah, I
he's
don't
throwing
think-
the ball 4 downs
Listen,
a drive.
Like I might not even watch the first half because I know the Texans aren't going to do a whole lot.
This is not a game where you can have another first half like last week. If they go down 21 or if they don't stay in it or lead at halftime, it's over. There's no comeback. You cannot – Mahomes and Tyreek Hill are not going to just chill in the second half and allow you to do work. They gotta come out hot.
They got to keep it within 2 scores.
Or we are in deep, deep shit. And that, of course, is the scary thing about the Texans is, yeah, you want to frame them up as a second half team, but really it's just that they suck dick in the first half.
Yeah, they stink.
They're so bad in the first that the only way you can say it is to say that they're a second half team. But isn't it just that they like literally don't even play football in the first half last week at least?
Well, it's also like I don't know if this is. Are we doing a segment on the Texans? I don't
No.
know if we're jumping the gun here.
No, we're
No,
not
we're
doing a
not.
segment on the Texans.
Because Ross is going to be too sad by it, you know?
You mean after? Well, I mean today we're not doing any other talk.
Well, no,
on
because you said
sports,
we're
no.
talking about Texans, so I didn't know if you were doing like a whole
No,
segment.
no,
You know
no,
what?
no.
Because most people are going to listen to this after the game. Ross, what do you think what the score will be?
Yeah. You listen. I'm gonna say we win. Obviously, okay. I'm gonna say
You cover or
28.
you win?
28-24 Texans
Jeez.
is what I'm gonna say.
Okay. Hey, somebody, hey, AJ,
I think the
make
score.
sure you
I
take
have
that
to
clip,
guess a Texans winning score. Okay,
take
I
that
can't
clip
not.
and
Oh, I
then
thought
put
you
it
were gonna ask
next
me
to
for
the
my
final
prediction.
score. But also, I want your prediction.
Yeah.
I think the score. I think it's probably gonna be the same outcome. I think the score is gonna be higher, just because I feel like this is gonna be a really high scoring game, just considering the Chiefs and probably the Texans too. But I think it'll be like probably like 35-32
Ooh.
or 38-35.
It's a lot of
Okay.
points.
Texans. They're
Here
gonna
we
win
go.
by three points. Probably a field goal is how it's gonna end.
I've got this locked down.
You're crazy.
Let me tell you a quick story, aka one sentence. I had the Kansas City Chiefs defense in my fantasy team, and they put up such massive points that I won my fantasy league in the playoffs of the fantasy league.
That's
So
not good.
here's the deal.
That's not good at all.
The Kansas City defense is the hottest defense possibly in NFL history right now. I think it's 35-0.
Whoa.
35-0. 35-0.
It's a bold statement.
35-0.
Okay, that is absolutely
The Houston
asinine.
Texans do not score. Deshaun Watson gets sacked 8 times.
Jesus.
That'll probably happen. So
Well,
you know that's gonna happen.
He got sacked, I think, 7 or 8 times last week.
Yeah.
He's going to get sacked 8 times. He's going to throw 3 picks. They're going to bench him
Bench him.
for who's your backup?
I don't even know. So, no, they're not.
Tommy Savage.
It's not. I don't even do.
No, they're not going to bench him. He's going to play the whole game, and he's going to throw 3 picks with 8 sacks. And he's going to, in the post-game interview, he's going to
AJ
be like,
McCarron is our backup.
Ah, that's right.
This has been fun, you shitting all over my team, but I'm going to move on. BetOnline.ag, code Ross for 50% deposit bonus to bet on those sportses.
35-0.
RBP 257 is also brought to you by Leesa, makers of the most comfortable mattresses in the entire universe. Your mattress, probably the most important purchase you'll ever make for your home, more important than your living room television. It doesn't matter if you're grinding in a studio apartment, you got a 4-bedroom house with 2 kids or some shit, having a fantastic bed for your body and mind to rest every night is paramount. And Leesa knows how important rest is to a better life. Leesa is the foundation of a healthier, happier you. And to Leesa, a bed is more than just a place to sleep. It's a place for relaxation and rest. We got another member of the RBP gang converted to the Leesa gang yesterday. I got a snap. It's on our story right now on Instagram from somebody who just ordered their Leesa mattress. Every time we get somebody else, I'm like, good for you. I'm happy for that person because they're actually going to sleep better I sleep on their hybrid. The Hybrid by Leesa, their most advanced luxury hybrid mattress made with premium foams and springs for enhanced pressure relief with edge-to-edge support. I sleep on it every night. I'm obsessed with it. So every time somebody else gets a Leesa, I'm very, very happy for them. Their pillows are phenomenal. Their blankets are phenomenal. Everything Leesa makes is phenomenal. Long-running supporter and sponsor of the show. Unbelievable products that I stand behind with the full force of my entire body, Jared.
Wow. All 135 pounds?
Oh, you dick. Leesa donates 1 mattress for every 10 they sell through organizations that work in causes like foster care prevention. To date, they've donated more than 33,000 mattresses through more than 1,000 nonprofits. Leesa mattresses are made in the USA. In-home delivery and setup is available. Financing is also available. Do not miss out, RBP gang. Live healthier, live happier by resting deeper. Order today and get 15% off any mattress for a limited time at Leesa.com/RBP. Use the promo code RBP. That's LEESA.com/RBP, promo code RBP. Keep in mind, you also get a 100-night risk-free trial plus free shipping and returns. Leesa.com/RBP. Next segment, badass vets you haven't heard of. So you know when we launched this segment, Jared, AJ, when we did our first one ever, I believe it was right before Veterans Day this past year, 2019.
Yeah, I remember.
And we were stoked on it because it was a segment suggested by the listeners. They wanted to get more military stuff involved, but we also realized that if we named it Badass Vets You Haven't Heard Of instead of Badass Veterans You Haven't Heard Of, that eventually we could break off and like mix in a veterinarian.
Some overlap there.
And that was funny to us.
Yeah.
We were like, ha! And I'm sure everyone else thought it was the funniest thing and the cutest thing in the world too. They just loved it. The joke, right? Well, guess what? We found one that's both.
Yes.
Yeah. Shouts to Yoshi, this dude on Twitch who sent me this tip. Buster Lloyd-Jones is our badass vet you haven't heard of for RBP 257. Buster Lloyd-Jones. He's a hyphen guy at the end. Lloyd-Jones, okay? This dude, in his early years, developed a passion for animals, okay? He contracted polio as a young child, which affected him later in his life. As he grew up, he was determined to become a vet. Though it meant a complete break with his father, he enrolled for training with a well-known animal society as a trainee in animal husbandry.
Do you know who couldn't ever be an animal husband? Diego. Can't tie that man down.
Ha-ha! Diego. We're back to Diego talk. We could just do more Diego. I love that Tortoise. What a horny 100-year-old man. My God. Shortly afterwards, he was appointed as a lethalist to the animal dispensary at Wimbledon.
That sounds like an animal killer.
I would hate that
sounds
job.
like the guy who could have come up with a better title.
Lethalist?
What do you do with the animal? What's the word I'm looking for?
Corpse?
Animal
Corpse.
dispensary. Oh, I'm the lethalist. That also sounds like a really shitty like CBS drama. Isn't there a mentalist?
I think
The
there is a
Mentalist.
show called The Lethalist.
It's the
Mentalist.
mentalist. It's the
No,
mentalist.
I'm pretty sure they have a Lethalist also.
Do they? Who
No
stars
fucking
in
way.
it?
I don't know.
Is it Buster Lloyd-Jones?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, he cared for sick, injured, and abandoned animals during the Second World War. Okay?
Which one was that? Is that the first one or the second one?
It was the second one,
Oh.
WW2, where we bailed out the British. Buster was a very kind man with a passion for animals. During the war, he kept a menagerie. I fucking love that word. A menagerie of abandoned animals. Cats, dogs, rabbits, goats, bush babies. What the fuck does that mean? Parrots, monkeys, and even snakes.
Yeah, Noah's Ark up
See,
in there.
here's the thing.
Whoa. What the hell does that mean? Cats, dogs, rabbits, goats, bush babies, parrots, monkeys, and even snakes. What the fuck does that mean?
What do you mean? What does that mean?
I mean that cats, dogs, snakes, and...
Oh, bush baby.
Those
Is
are
it a
all-
sugar glider?
Oh, it is. It's like a magpie thing. A nocturnal primate native to continental Africa. Okay, I thought that was like some weird shit that somebody snuck in on Wikipedia.
I want to say you covered that one before.
The galago.
I want to say we have too.
It's called
Yeah.
a galago.
Or
something that looks like it.
a species that was similar to
Yeah,
that. I
we
remember.
for sure have. Absolutely. I think you're definitely right. Anyway, parrots, monkeys, even snakes. He kept all these things, wartime residents in his house.
See, here's the thing. When Buster Lloyd-Jones does it, it's cool and we talk about it. But when a random person does this and they harbor a bunch of weird animals, we call them crazy.
I call them Ace Ventura. But
Or do you think, is there like a Dr. Dolittle situation? Do you think he talked to them and they talked back?
it's entirely I mean, if they talked back, that'd be a whole nother deal.
You know, Robert Downey Jr. He's Dr. Dolittle.
Now,
Is he really?
yeah,
I like the Eddie Murphy
I did too.
Dr. Dolittle.
Yeah, I did too.
Eddie Murphy came back. I didn't know where he was for about 10 years. And he's back.
Nobody
yeah,
did.
I watched. What was that movie?
Dolomite is my name.
Yeah, I watched that.
Is it
Yeah,
good?
I love it.
It's pretty good.
I
yeah.
liked it a lot. Netflix, solid flick. Good
Have
watch.
you seen the actual movie though?
like the no? This is the parts they show at the end.
My
of,
dad watched the actual movie and he
For
told
real?
me it's just as ridiculous as they portrayed it in the movie.
Holy shit! Your dad saw it for real.
Yeah.
I gotta
Well,
see
yeah,
this.
because my dad was into all that like black exploitation
Yeah, yeah.
movies back then.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Eddie
Dude.
Murphy was great on SNL, by the way.
Oh,
He
he
crushed it on
Oh,
SNL.
dude, I
mean,
heard
the
those
most
were like
recent.
the highest numbers that they've
Yeah.
done in a while as far as
the
ratings go.
monologue was tight. He brought out
Yeah.
like Chris Rock,
Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle. I love that. What's his name come out at the? It's like the four
Oh,
legendary
Beck
black
Bennett?
comedians, and then this fool comes out that played Keenan or whatever
Kenan
at the end.
Thompson.
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of funny.
Dude, he's a legend now.
He
He's the
is-
longest ever
okay.
cast member in SNL.
Jared, he is a legend, undoubtedly.
He was also on
But-
all that.
But
was.
it's Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy, Keenan.
Are you saying that you wouldn't lump him in there with them?
Dude, I think in
Hell no.
10 years, you might think of him the same way.
Be real, dude.
He's still in the middle of his career.
I feel like it's kind
I
of a
get that you're being nice, but you're outside your mind. You know.
Dude.
Maybe here's the thing: you didn't grow up watching him on Keenan and Kel
I
or all
did.
that.
Yes, I did.
No,
I
you're
watched-
like 45. You did not.
I'm 32. I watched both of those for my entire childhood.
Dude,
I was a huge,
Kenan
huge
and
fan.
Kel was one of my favorite shows ever as
yeah,
a kid.
dude, you're missing on this one. I promise.
we
you.
need a reboot
that
of that
shit
on
was old enough
Netflix.
for us. Keenan, I watched Keenan singing dumb shit in a bathtub for more hours than I would like to admit.
You remember Super Dude?
Bro, Jared, doesn't
From
even
all
know.
that?
You didn't even watch this shit.
What do you mean? What's
It's a-
Super Dude?
What happened to that
It
girl
was
from
a parody
from
on
She's All
of
That?
Superman.
She's All That.
He was allergic
girl.
to lactose.
What do you think? She's all that.
I mean, what's
All-
the show
All
called?
That.
All That.
All That.
All That girl.
She's All That is
was
a
a
movie with Amanda Bynes,
Was a movie, yeah.
I believe.
Is Amanda Bynes who you were looking for
All
from the
That.
Amanda Show?
Well, actually, yeah, she was
TV
also on All
show.
That,
She
so I guess
was.
it all comes full circle.
Girl. No, she was bigger.
Oh, Lori Beth Denberg.
What happened to her?
I don't think anything happened
Oh.
to Lori Beth Denberg.
Mm.
Same thing with Danny Tamborelli. Danny
like-
Tamborelli was in was it Wendy's commercials?
Was he the one that was in Pete and Pete? You remember that show? The Adventures of Pete and Pete?
I remember Pete and Pete.
That was a good show.
Bro,
I don't know
this
that one.
just looking at photos from all that is giving me like a nostalgia
Yeah.
headache.
Do you know what else was really good? Figure It Out with Summer Sanders.
That I watched
Remember
a little
the game
less.
show.
Yeah.
We just pretty much repurposed all that characters and like they were that guests. Nickelodeon Prime was the best programming for like children and young adults
Ever.
ever.
They're-
it's so
they're
bad now.
Rebooting Lizzie McGuire
Are they really?
Really?
Wow, they're really just going all in on that. See, okay, that
on Disney
was-
Plus.
that I was too old for, Jared.
Gotcha.
Lizzie was, and
That was-
ironically, I also was like best friends with her cousin.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
Huh.
A Duff?
she was a huge. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Shouts to Bradley Duff and the whole Duff family. And
Oh, nice.
weirdly, I saw him over Christmas at church. He was
Oh.
a fucking usher at the church me and my mom went to for Christmas service. No shit.
Look at that.
Shouts to the Duff family. I'm
So
well connected to the
well-connected.
Duffs.
Yeah.
To the Duffs
And,
only.
and the Papases.
And the
Of
Papases.
Papados, Papacitos.
Oddly, I know one of them too. For real.
You're the most Houston
Were you
connected guy
joking?
ever. I was being serious. You told me you
Oh,
knew.
good.
You,
Yeah,
you
no,
did
I
tell
know
me
one of
you
them
knew
too.
them,
I know a Pappas. A Pappas, whatever.
How was
doesn't
the
matter.
Papados, by the way?
Great food.
Really? I should go
All
there.
of the
That's where
Pappas
Lizzo ate when she came to
restaurants.
Austin. She went to Papado.
That's not that surprising. Houston people fucking love Papa Doe, and she's a Houston person.
It's not the same as the Houston Papados, though.
Hell no, nothing is.
Is there one Houston Papados?
By the way, did you see Lizzo get called out by that well-known fitness Biggest Loser?
Oh, Jillian Michaels?
Jillian Michaels was like, "Why are we celebrating this fat chick?"
That is not
It was
a
a-
battle.
Is that what she said?
It was a weird move. She
That you
goes,
wanna
"Why are we
pick.
celebrating her body like we should be celebrating her music, but her body is unhealthy and we should be celebrating healthy bodies?" Basically,
Damn,
which
shots fired.
But look, here's the thing.
That's bad.
If she's making a point about like obesity and the threats to your health, and that she said she was like, it's not going to be funny when she gets diabetes. She said some shit like that, which that might have been crossing the fucking line.
Yeah, you don't
in
say that.
multiple ways. But of course, I mean, look, there is a line somewhere there. It can't just be like we all celebrate who we are, even if it's to a fault, health-wise. I don't know. I don't know where the line is. I
Yeah.
do know this.
Jillian Michaels.
Jillian
crossed
Michaels
it.
stands alone in crossing it, and I will not join her. Because that shit was, I was like, oh no. And if you go watch the clip, it's like, it's almost as if her publicist was like, all right, here's what I want you to do. I want you
Lizzo's
to go
really
on the show.
popular.
Yeah, Lizzo's huge. Most popular big black girl in America right now. You're going to fry her weight and make headlines everywhere. And it's going to be huge for fat shamers. You're going to become the face of fat shaming
What does
in
Jillian
America.
Michaels do now? She probably has
I
like
think she does the same
She's probably
shit.
still doing the same thing, making like fitness videos.
And
selling
does she not
fitness
host that show?
products.
They don't do Biggest Loser anymore?
Oh, I think they do. Yeah.
Have you ever watched a season of Biggest Loser?
Yeah, it's
I've watched a season. I don't know that I'll ever
both
be...
it's both depressing and uplifting
Well,
at
you
the
know,
same time.
here's the crazy
That's
shit.
a very good way of putting it.
Bob Harper, the very recognizable host along with Jillian Michaels, like
Yeah.
that dude had a heart attack at like 41, and he's like, super healthy dude. He had a heart attack.
He's still alive, though, right?
He's still alive.
Yeah,
he
he's
lived.
still
beat the heart
hosting the
attack.
show.
He beat the heart attack, but like he had a. It just goes to show you, no matter
Dude,
how healthy
people
you are,
have them in their 30s.
yeah, no matter how healthy you are, like that.
Dude, you have kids who have heart attacks.
that's crazy.
People drop in their 30s from heart attacks. This shit is nuts. You got to take care of your heart. You know? Let's get back to Buster Lloyd-Jones.
Oh, can I just read her quote? It's
Sure,
so bad.
Jillian Michaels.
Why are we celebrating her body? Why does it matter? Why aren't we celebrating her music? Because it isn't going to be awesome if she gets diabetes. That is such a bad quote, Jillian. What are you doing?
Why are we celebrating her body? Should have been... After she asked that question, she should have just reversed course. Because that was the start of a very bad
Yeah.
rant.
She needs to go because it isn't going to be awesome. In fact, it's going to be terrible. And we'll miss her music, which I love so much, and I hope she doesn't get it, even though I love her. Like she.
So Lizzo got on her Instagram story and said, if my name is in your mouth, so is my pussy, bitch.
Did she really?
Yeah.
It's an all-time comeback.
Oh my god.
Which is frankly like an overreaction.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That is such a good response.
I guess.
How is that not? How do you not think that is?
That's hilarious to me.
I was
she,
just like,
she
wow.
turned this into like a furthering of her complete brand of being a badass.
That's true. That's true. And self-empowering and all that. No, I get that. But I'm just saying, it seemed like she went a little aggressive with the response. Like,
No, that's right.
God
That is
damn.
She crushed that.
I guess. Anyway, this dude Buster Lloyd-Jones kept a menagerie of abandoned animals during World War II. He's passionate about natural health for all the animals he kept. He founded Denes, D-E-N-E-S, I don't know what the fuck that is, in 1951, which produces herbal veterinary products for animals. He wrote an autobiography titled The Animals Came In One by One, and a sequel, Come Into My World. He should have worked on that second title a
Yeah, that
little
doesn't
more.
really
That-
tie into that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what into your world? He also wrote 2 instructional books, Love on a Lead and Natural Health for Your Pets.
Well, we really got off topic there.
We really did. Jillian Michaels and Lizzo and fat shaming. It just, this whole
Nickelodeon.
Yeah, we talked about
Nickelodeon for
Nickelodeon
20
for a
minutes, badass vid. Sometimes when I'm going through the show to segment it and put the timestamps, I'll be like, what happened for 20 minutes
You could
here?
turn one segment into like 12 segments
Where-
if you wanted
Yes.
to.
I'm like, how do I timestamp this, then re-timestamp it to get back to what we were supposed to be talking about? People are in the timestamps like, I don't know what's happening here. Here's the synopsis of The Animals Came In One by One. W.L. Lloyd-Jones, ooh, that must have been his cool author name. See? I'm not the only moron who did that. Is thought of by thousands of animal lovers in Britain and elsewhere as perhaps the most skillful veterinary surgeon to have ever practiced his art. He is known to all of them as Buster. Excuse me. Illness incapacitated him a few years ago, and so he has now had time to tell the story of his life modestly, humorously, without affectation. That's the synopsis for The Animals Came In One by One. It makes an enthralling read, it says, whether Buster is feeding lion cubs from a baby bottle, trying to persuade Sir Winston Churchill not to stuff his poodle with chocolates, curing J.V. Rank's wolfhounds and Great Danes of streptococcal infection, which, by the way, streptococcal infection, you know what that is, bitch?
Yes, I do.
Do you?
Yeah, I've had it before.
Well, but what's it called?
It's strep throat.
Yeah. 3 learned doctors in this podcast. 4 if you count Mike, producer Mike. Learned doctors. Oh, he didn't know. Never mind. 3. I carried that shit, streptococcus. Fucking had strep throat every year for like 7 goddamn years, dude.
I did too. I had it my first week interning at Grand X.
I was gonna make a dirty joke.
It's it's the worst version of like you're gonna do a cock joke. It's the worst version of the cold and flu version of sick. You know what I'm saying? Like in congestion that you can get.
The worst thing is this: when you sneeze with strep throat,
it hurts.
It's like needles being shot
it's
up
like
your
needles in your throat.
esophagus.
Everything hurts. It's the closest I've felt to like actually dying. You know what I'm saying? Like physically, mentally, it happens every day. Physically, that was the only time I was like, this might be it.
You know the closest I felt was?
What? When?
That time I had 2 buttholes.
Ah, yeah.
We'll talk about that.
People
at some point.
forget.
We'll talk about that at some point.
Well, you know, strep is especially bad for you as a podcast host because you would lose money if you couldn't talk on a microphone.
That's
you
a
don't,
really
you don't think
scary
about
aspect of this shit now. When people start getting sick.
You have strep and then you can't talk for like, what, 2 weeks?
AJ, if I'm in a subway and the lady next to me sneezes, I kick her in the shoulder and run.
Shoulder. It's a high kick. You might pull something. You might pull a groin.
Nah.
By the way, if you do lose your voice, you can just count on us to continue the show.
Yeah.
We'll do it in your
Yeah, I know.
absence.
Dude,
Y'all are just
I
going to pull
would-
streptococcal jokes the whole time.
Russ, you know that we would do a great job upholding all the standards. I would only tell true stories the entire time.
I'd be sitting here without the ability to speak, wanting to die.
Have you ever had laryngitis?
Nope.
I had it one time in
I've
my
had it
life.
before, yeah.
It was
Sounds really bad, though.
So you don't feel like shitty at all. You just can't talk. Everybody around me, it was their favorite thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah, because you talk in squeaks.
Because you couldn't speak.
Yeah, I know, just because I couldn't speak.
I just smacked my face on the microphone, and only people who were watching saw it.
Yeah. Well, so like I literally, it's like literally, you try to talk and it's like you're trying and you
Dude,
can't.
that just reminded me of like when you have one of those things where you wake up and you can't move or talk.
Sleep paralysis.
Sleep paralysis,
Dude,
bro.
I've had sleep paralysis. I had some scary times with sleep paralysis.
I had it when I was a kid. I still remember the one moment. I've shared it on the show before, but I was sleeping in the guest room because I was sick. Okay, and you know when you're sick and you're a little kid and you have fever and shit, it messes with your head. I fucking woke up, couldn't move, and I remember laying there doing that. And a woman was entering the room.
Yes, dude. I've had
like slow as Diego the Tortoise style. Like she was coming in for fucking, and it was not really.
Oh, that
she was
sounds
gonna murder
tight.
me. She was gonna
no,
murder
she was
me.
not.
Oh, she was
like
gonna-
a- she was
she's
like a
gonna
witch.
kill you.
She was
She
a
was a
witch,
witch,
yes.
yes.
Oh, okay, no,
And I'm
that's
laying
not
there like,
cool.
We should
trying to
do.
scream.
Can we do a whole episode on sleep paralysis? Because I have some crazy stories. For a while, I was trying to teach myself to lucid dream, and I got.
Oh, you're one of these dudes. You tried to go into the zone.
And I tried, and I actually got. Sometimes I got decently far into it, where there's some tips
Okay.
to train yourself.
Okay.
But 3 or 4 times I got sleep paralysis, and I had the same thing. I'm laying in bed, my body's frozen.
Dude.
I can try to do that. You go like, I was like, and I heard some crazy shit. And it is sleep paralysis.
It's one of the scariest things I've ever dealt with.
I would say this: by the 3rd or 4th time it happens to you, you know what's happening, and you like it
But it's
gets
somehow
less
worse.
scary.
I don't know, dude. It was worse for me knowing like.
Really?
Okay, so I think that was one of the first times I ever had it. That situation I just told. But I remember when it happened again, I was even more freaked out and worked up because I knew, oh my God, I'm not gonna be able to move for a few minutes. Like I'm stuck. I just remember getting like the anxiety was even worse. But I think it's probably been 15 years since I had one of those.
Dude, I had it.
It's like a puberty thing.
The
or
last time
something.
I did it was I had sleep paralysis. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago.
You ever had this happen to you, AJ? It's awful.
Yeah,
it's
it's
terrible.
happened to me a few times.
So-
you know, there's a movie about it on Netflix called
Yeah.
called The Nightmare.
Ugh.
Very
The
terrifying
most
movie.
common. Here's the thing. This might help some people.
Uh-huh.
If you ever wake up and you can't move and you see a shadowy figure either sitting on your chest or in a corner of the room,
Yeah,
you are in sleep paralysis.
and you're fine.
Freak out less than you would normally.
Yeah. You use that to your
If
advantage.
you ever wake up and you can move and there's a shadowy figure sitting on your chest or in your corner of your room, you're dead. You're dying.
You're gonna
die.
You're gonna be
You're getting
murdered. It's a murderer.
But if you can't move, you're fine. It's actually funny. The less you're able to move, the
Better
more
off
safe
you are.
you are. So think about that.
Except for those few, I think it's like 0.001% of people who wake up with sleep paralysis and there's a murderer there. And then we've told them they're safe, and they're like, that person in the corner is not even real. I'm straight. And the next thing you know,
Well, they can't do anything anyways in that time. So
We're just trying to give you comfort.
yeah.
So riddle me this:
Comforting you in your last moments. What's up?
people who get sleep paralysis, why does it always have to be like a serial killer, someone trying to murder you? Are there no sexual sleep paralysis stories?
I actually can tell you about this. So it's because when your brain, when you're in sleep paralysis, knows you're completely helpless, and so it imagines something that would attack you. It's essentially a manifestation of like fight or flight, but it knows you can't flight, so it tries to like make you be able to flight by scaring the shit out of you, so it snaps you out of it. Your brain does that to you like an asshole.
This is why I have spent my formative years pouring as many brain-damaging substances into my body as possible.
Including ice cream before bed.
The
to
human
prevent-
brain
to
is
prevent
too
you.
powerful, Jared. It shouldn't be able to do all these things, and I need to limit it
Yeah.
in its ability to fuck with me.
So instead of the movie Limitless with Bradley Cooper, we have Limited with Ross Bolen.
And it's just
him trying to
it's
limit
15 years of drinking followed by excessive marijuana use in an effort to temper my brain.
I'm surprised you never had a sleep paralysis nightmare of like Tim Allen walking into your bedroom with a baseball bat,
You know how many
just ready to take you out.
You know he showed up at the Golden Globes, Tim
Yeah.
Allen? You know how many fucking snaps I got of Tim Allen?
Probably thousands.
I mean, it was legit probably 50. I mean, legit. It was a lot. So many Tim Allen photos up in my Snapchat, man. Anyway, Buster was forced into an early retirement after he was diagnosed as terminally ill.
Oh,
He
no.
said his main regret about his loss of health was that it made it impractical to keep many animals during his final years, which is, he reminds me like a St. Francis or an Ace Ventura, but of the military. Our first ever badass vet you haven't heard of that doubled as a badass vet you haven't heard of, Buster Lloyd-Jones. And again, shouts to Yoshi for the tip there. Pretty fucking cool. We finally got one.
Also, rest in peace. Did he pass already?
Yeah, he definitely
I
passed.
believe he's gone.
Well, rest in peace.
Also, next up on our feature segment, Badass Cartographers you haven't heard of, Buster Bluth.
Yep. Next. He's next. Great map maker, one of the great map makers of in history.
Yeah, not great around human skulls and excavations. He likes to hammer them
Exactly.
with a hammer.
Yeah. A little. Yeah. I had a quick question. We got a couple minutes here before we gotta leave.
Yeah.
I was in the shower this morning, and I was thinking about my shower routine.
Are we talking about showers again?
Just quickly, yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, you know, AJ, we have a storied history of speaking showers. We
We do.
talked about how you need to stay strapped when you're in the shower.
Yeah.
How that speaking of
It's one of my crowning moments on this show.
You have a gun
it
in the
was.
shower?
So we spoke about sleep paralysis. Jared or AJ and I got to a point where we were talking about how when you're in the shower and you're washing your hair and you close your eyes, you get scared. Somebody outside
You don't know
the
if
shower,
someone's going to
somebody's
break in and
stabbing
try to
you,
murder you while you're
psycho.
in the shower. Yeah.
Yeah. So AJ's suggestion was that everyone stay strapped in the shower. We all have a pistol in the shower, and then over the course of the last 2 years, we've received probably, I don't know, if I had to ballpark it, 30 different snaps from people with either a pistol or usually a pistol in the shower.
Yeah.
Did you see the story last night? Have you looked at today's yet? There's a motherfucker in his shower with a World War II rifle.
He has a musket.
Yes.
Wait.
No, it's not a musket, but it's like it's the World War II
Like an
single
M1
shot
Garand?
M1.
Oh,
Yes,
damn.
dude. Yes, from like fucking Call of Duty. It's the only reason I even know what it is. Like, you gotta go look.
You must be pretty confident in himself because that's one shot.
It's
one
not-
shot, one kill.
It is. It's not only that he has this weapon that's amazing. It's that he has it, and he took the photo. It's beautiful. You got to look at it on the story. Our Ross Bolen podcast.
Just keeps it on the soap dispenser.
Yeah, Instagram. Anyway, I was in the shower and I was thinking about. I was out of body wash. That's what it was. I was out of body wash this morning. Shouts to Hawthorne. Send me some more.
That's not an ideal situation.
It was not, but I had a spare on the ground. Long story short is this. It made me think about how people have very different shower routines.
I don't see this picture.
It might have pulled down already. You'll have to go through like Genius or something. There's a shitload of. Are there still a ton of slides up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
then
like
it's
a
in there.
million
Never
of them
mind.
on
It's in there for
It's-
sure. Yeah, I got really bored yesterday. So it made me think about how everybody has these different like. Some people have incredibly complicated shower routines.
What do you mean by complicated?
So like, let me ask
it's a
you
pretty
this.
simple process.
AJ, when you're going to take a shower, what are you accomplishing in there?
What do you mean? What my end goal is?
No, like what do you do? Like okay, so
Ew,
Oh, what my-
I don't want to know what you accomplish in the shower, man.
you know what I mean. Are you what is your, is it shampoo, conditioner, body wash? You're out. Do you do face wash in the shower too? Do you brush your fucking teeth? Like what's your deal?
I don't brush my teeth in the shower. That's kind of.
It's a mistake.
I brush
You
my
should.
teeth and shave my face prior to getting into the shower.
Brushing your teeth in the shower is the move. Just letting you know, it's the best.
I don't really have a reason why I don't do that. I just don't do it. I just brush my teeth and shave my face before getting to the shower.
I had never considered brushing my teeth in the shower. This chick I dated in college did it and was like, "It's the greatest. You should do it." Everyone who doesn't do this is a moron.
Yeah,
and I've done it every day since.
Until your drain gets clogged with dry toothpaste. You never thought about that.
What the fuck kind of toothpaste do you use?
Colgate.
It's coming out of your mouth in chunks, bro. My toothpaste comes out liquid and then goes down the drain.
Especially you with the combination of toothpaste and dried semen. That's not good for your drain.
Here's the question, AJ.
I'm also not a shower cranker.
Here's the question, AJ.
You know what? This is a weird fact about me. Not joking. Been at least a decade
since
I even attempted a shower
crank?
stroke.
Oh, to crank in the shower.
Since I even attempted one.
I thought you meant cranking in general.
I have a question. That's you.
AJ, we both know you didn't think that about me. That's you.
Yeah. Okay. So, are you the guy who falls victim to Colgate's marketing, where like in the commercial, somebody just puts like a fat ass glob of toothpaste on to try to get you to think that's how much toothpaste you need when really you just need a
I'm just
small?
going to stop everybody here.
That's so wasteful.
Getquip.com/RBP. Getquip.com/RBP. I don't know why my co-hosts are constantly bringing up.
Hey, wait, I never got the answer.
Fucking competitors to our sponsors. What's your
let
question?
me answer real fast. Well, no, I was gonna answer your question that you asked me
please
about my
do.
shower routine. So I get in the shower,
Fucking A. Finally getting an answer.
turn on the water first. The water needs to be super hot. I like taking scalding hot showers,
Okay.
especially in the morning. It just wakes me up.
Like unhealthily hot?
Yeah, like 3rd-degree burns.
Drying your
Like, I
skin
just
out
have
hot?
to- yeah, I like to turn red by
That's
the
a
time I
mistake.
get out. Look like a lobster.
All right, that's great. You give me too much detail. What the fuck do you do in the shower?
So I get in there and I cleanse my body first. You know, I get my my rag, put my body wash on there,
I regret this so much.
clean my body. After I clean my body, then I hit my face with some Noxzema. It's my
A word?
face wash of choice.
Throw out some more brands if you would.
And then my
Jesus.
generic face wash. Excuse me.
Thank you.
And then I shampoo my hair last. But I only shampoo my hair maybe 2 or 3 times a week because you're not supposed to wash your hair every day.
I've heard that.
This
I've heard
is
that.
very controversial.
Maintain the natural oils.
So, but you can't just switch. Did you know that?
What do you mean?
Like, I couldn't just go right now and be like, and now I wash my hair every 2 times a week guy.
Why not?
My shit will get crazy, greasy, and fucked up.
Really?
Yeah, oh, it's weird. All right, point being, you take a simple shower. Shampoo, conditioner.
I don't understand how
Face
it would be
wash.
complicated. That's pretty much the same.
I'm going to tell you. Jared, what do you do in the shower?
I walk in, let the water caress me,
Okay.
and I walk out clean.
No soap, shampoo.
No, I do that. Okay, I walk in. I used to do body wash first, and then I realized that like my hair, after I shampoo my hair, like that gets all over my body. So I started shampooing first. So I walk in, shampoo, body wash all over, and get out. A quick shower.
What?
Yeah.
Hey, did you know that people crank with shampoo?
What?
Like
Why would you do
people
that?
use shampoo as their choice of
God.
lubricant.
This couldn't have gone worse. This may be the worst conversation starter I have ever planted, to the point that I'm literally just going to walk away from it. I want to do something. We're out of time. Before we leave today, very important segment, last segment, final segment, RBP Impact Initiative. I want everybody who has a good story about how this show has impacted them or someone in their life to share with us by emailing ross@rossbolenpodcast.com. Email us your story. If you've got a cool story about how this show has affected you, or impacted someone else in your life, whether it's because of a mental health situation or a substance abuse thing or an addiction thing, or it's just laughs through a hard time, whatever it is, there are some of y'all who have some incredible stories that we want to share with the rest of the RBP gang. So I'm going to do what's called the RBP Impact Initiative. Excuse me. Email me, ross@rossbolenpodcast.com. Give me your name, where you're from, your story, or your friend's story, or a story about your friend, or whatever it is. I'm very curious to hear from more people in the RBP gang who have been impacted by this show, hopefully in a positive way. I guess you could share negative impact as well. That'd probably be helpful. And share with the rest of the community. ross@rossbolenpodcast.com, RBP Impact Initiative. Super excited to share more of y'all's stories and to hear from more of y'all. If you don't want us to share, that's fine too. You can just say, hey, this is private. It's for y'all. Don't share it. Totally cool with that. But if you are cool with it, we would love to share y'all's stories as well. Before you head out to take on the world, it's time for some very important announcements. First and foremost, you've been saddled with 2 legal obligations having listened to this entire episode of RBP. First, Number one, you must rate and review on Apple Podcasts. You can listen on Spotify, listen on SoundCloud, watch on YouTube. I don't give a fuck. That's great. Wherever you listen, I'm happy you're listening, but I want you to rate and review on Apple Podcasts, 5 stars, 2 or 3 sentences about why you like the show, and then you can move on to box number 2, your second legal obligation, your final legal obligation, which is to tell one person, a friend, a family member, a coworker, a neighbor, any one individual that you can think, this person would really love RBP and AJ and Jared's shower takes. Share the show with them.
That was a great segment.
Share RBP with one person this week, one person next week, one person every week until the week you die. Rate and review. Share the show. Your legal obligations are complete. I call off the dogs. We don't have to see each other in court. We all save money, live long, and prosper. Follow us on Instagram at the Ross Bolen Podcast. We're on Twitter at Ross Bolen Pod. You can follow us on Facebook if you're the middle-aged aunt of one of our listeners. I am Ross Bolen, and you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at, me, this whole time.
Oh, my God.
The whole fucking episode.
Holy shit, dude.
Can you believe that? Imagine the people that are listening right now. Wait. That was the guy?
I was waiting for him to come on the whole time.
He just never showed up, I thought. I thought it was just like they said he was on vacation. It was a different squad. At WR Bolen, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at WRBOLEN. And again, we're on twitch.tv/BossRollin. AJ, where can we follow you on the social medias?
On Instagram and Twitter, I'm at capital AJ.
Will you spell it?
CAPITAL AJ.
Hot. Jared, what about you?
I'm at Jared Borislow.
BORISLOW.
Display name J-Bone. Also follow me at Tinder Combos.
You don't have to say your display name.
Display name J-Bone.
Okay.
Also at Tinder Combos for funny dating app conversations. I'm bringing it back. It's all good. 2020.
I think it was yesterday. The one you put up yesterday made me laugh.
Thank you. We'll do a segment on it soon. We keep saying we will, but we will.
I am very down.
I also have a
apps.
new segment that we'll do soon that you're gonna like. That's just ripping me apart.
Okay. Well, that's always a good time.
Yeah.
I look forward to that. Check out Oysters, Clams, and Cockles, Bolen Media's television and film podcast, available wherever RBP is available. We're covering The Witcher. We're covering, what else? I told you all about Movie Club. We're going to see 1917 tonight. I don't know. We're watching all kinds of shit.
Are you guys talking about Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
Not yet.
Okay. You saw my tweet. That show is actually better than The Witcher.
The Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
Yeah,
I watched the shit out of that when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened to her, by the way?
Melissa Joan Hart, she's crushing it.
Still out there getting money?
Yeah.
Hot. Good. That will do it for RBP 257, recorded and produced by Mike Moody and Grant Davis at Permanent Record Studios in Austin, Texas. Shouts to everybody on Twitch who hung out with us and watched live today. We'll be back tomorrow.
Oh, my gosh.
That's confirmed?
I believe so. Monday.
Mike?
Episode 258. Mike and I will talk after we get off the show. RBP 258 coming tomorrow? Question mark? Have a great rest of your Sunday. Go Texans. Podman gets paid respect. Mr. Park, strength and honor. Gang, gang, gang. Peace be with you and also with you.